Hey, future self, it's your past self here, and as you could probably tell, I'm back in my old apartment again. So, over these last 3 weeks, I have been an RA at the Google Computer Science Summer Institute. Basically, these 3 weeks alone made my experience as a intern here at Google worth it. And I find it kind of funny, honestly, because 3 weeks ago, I honestly thought I was going to have the worst time of my life. Before I started this program, I was agonizing over it. I thought that I wouldn't get along with these students. I thought that it wouldn't be a lot of fun, that I'd be in a cramped room, and that I'd basically keep to myself. But that all changed the first time I saw the CSSI students' smiles. Over the next 3 weeks, I got to know these students. I got to know not only how they program, but what their quirks were, whether they were proactive or someone who liked to chill back. For me, they've changed my definition of what a family is. When you meet a group of people that you expect to be friends with, you try to adapt yourself in order to fit whatever style that group goes with. And usually, it's not too different from who you normally are. And personally, I do this with every group of friends that I have. And it usually means that I'm mostly being my true self. But the key word there is mostly. With every group of friends that I have, I might leave something out about myself. Sometimes it's me not being nerdy, and other times it's me being way too nerdy. And there's nothing completely wrong with that. I mean, it's going to happen regardless of whether you like it or not. It's the only way to really make sure that you fit in. However, there's always one group of people that you can always act like your true self, and that's your family. You see, no matter what I do, and no matter how dumb I am in front of my family, they are my family, and they will accept me for who I am. And that's why I love them. And whether that means I'm extremely snarky or completely kind or a combination of the two, they will accept me. You see, given 3 weeks, you never really expect to really get close to the people you meet. There's no way that you can really get to bond with people in a way that you feel is meaningful. I expected myself to not really be that close with them, to be a distant figure with some knowledge of some of the programs that I did here. But after I met these guys, and after I talked to them for hours, I realized that the way I was acting was as if I had no filter on myself. I was acting like my true self. And it's really hard to point down why this is. For me, I pointed mostly to the fact that this was such a diverse group. Truth be told, many of my friends come from a very similar base. And while you still find different ways to diversify within a similar group, for example, the types of nerds, such as somebody who loves Doctor Who compared to someone who loves Sherlock. Those are very different categories, but at that point you're getting very specific. So to have a group of people who came from different sides of the country, it meant that you got very, very different experiences from them. There were days that I was commenting on Smash Brothers, and then there were other days where people were explaining fashion to me. And there were days when people helped me shop for shoes. Yet there were days where I sat in a living room and helped people out with their code. And there were days where we decided it was a good idea to go to IHOP at 2 a.m. What I'm trying to say is that I got to let out a lot of me. I got to let out that little bit of that fashion side. I got to let out that Smash side. I got to let out that coding side. I got to let out me. And I did it with these students in 3 weeks. From all those awkward jokes that I made, to my snarkiness, to everything about me, they found it great. And they accepted me. And I gotta be closer to these 30 students than I feel like I've ever really been with a vast majority of the people I meet. When you get to show all of yourself and the people that you show them to truly accept all of it, it's hard to not call them family. They taught me that it's possible to have a family outside of your actual family. And I saw 30 students who I never thought I could miss so much. So, to future self, I'm giving you a challenge instead of a question. Go back and talk to those who you thought were your family. Hopefully I've given you a lot to think about. See you next year.